Here we're looking at the parts that are going to be used in the build of the quick change rear end, minus the center section. I hadn't ordered that yet, but now's probably a good time to talk about it. So I think it's SR3620 from Winters is what I'm going to order, and I'm going to figure this out. I think I've set it on gear set number 4, which should give me 348 when they're flipped one way and then 486 when they're flipped the other. And that's based on a 411 ring gear that they're supposed to send along with it. So I'll take pictures of that when I get here. I'm sure that's going to be really pretty. And then I might do some polishing on it or have somebody polish it. I don't know. Just depends on how much time I have. Other stuff I ordered. Here's our Torino style big bearing ends. So we got that going. There's our special, I think they're called side gears. I called that a spider, and then I called these spiders in the last video. I think these are considered the spiders, you know, and this is considered side gears. That's what they'd be considered in a 9-inch. And then I bought a bunch of castle nuts because you saw, you know, I think I might have boogered one. Here's another one of those deals, right? I ordered 8 38-24 castle nuts. Paid a freaking lot of money, really, especially when you consider shipping that goes with it. And they get here, and then I get this boogaboo with it. Yeah. So I ordered these from CW Moss, Ford Parts. I'm sure they're nice people. I got nothing against them, but dang. How many times do you have to wait just to get one more thing in? I mean, if you're going to screw it up, at least throw one more nut in the bag, you know, as a bonus for people. That way, if one of them's dorked up, enough. So, got that going for me. All right, so the way this used to be configured, your ring gear would have been on the back side where the table is down here, okay? And then inside the center of the ring gear, the axle gets put in there. That gets bolted up against it, all right? And then there's this side, the other axle with the splines, with the, I guess it would be called a integrated side gear, would be on this side, and then this whole assembly here would slide down on top of the axle. And once it slid down on top of the axle, then you'd put the bolts and nuts on and tighten it all up, and then put it in the center section, and then strap the bells on, and away you'd go. All right, but I told you I want to do something a little bit different. Therefore, these gears are required. I got these from Carrillo. I think I got the link in the last video. And the way they work is when you have 11-2 spiders, these set on each side. So I want to be on this side, and then if I wanted to pick this up and, you know, set it down, there'd be another one on that side. And then instead of having to fight around the axles to put everything together, you strap this bad boy up inside the quick change housing, and then you slide the axles in, and boom, Bob's your uncle. Not quite that easy, but you know what I'm saying. Here's where things get a little more difficult, and it's inside here, all right? So this, right, this part here has to fit inside there. And if you can't tell, that hole down in there, that is too small to fit this flange around. So what has to happen on this and on the ring gear is that that center hole has to be bored large enough for that part to fit down in it, all right? So, I mean, you can see as it is right here, you know, it doesn't fit down on top of it. So that ain't gonna work for us. Whew. Look down there for no reason. All right, that's not gonna work for us. So what I have to do is I've got to get this machined. Now, I had the capability, kinda. Yeah, there's a lathe sitting over there. But the new Dean's Messy Garage is not set up yet. And so, because time is limited, money's tight, and I want good quality, I'm gonna spend the money. So I'll bring this home with me, find a machine shop, get this board out. This bad boy will fit right in there, and then when I get the ring gear, when the quick change comes in, I'll have to do the same thing on the ring gear side of it. And then after that, I can put all this assembly together, strap the ring gear to it, and at least get started. So, with that being said, I think what I'm going to do is close out for this one, and on the next video, we'll start looking at the center section. 2+ months after I ordered it, the center section finally shows up. I don't know what's going on at Winters. They're just really busy if they had to mine some aluminum. But hanging on to $2,000 for a couple of months, not as cool as it could be, as if, you know, within, let's say, 2 weeks, this got shipped out. But that being said, I'm glad it's here. Or at least I think so. Let's unbox it and take a look at the parts. Okay, so inside the big box, some packing stuff. 2 smaller boxes, nicely packed. I like it. You can tell this is the old Dixpadero kit because, by golly, even the instructions still say Dixpadero early Ford reproductions. So that's pretty good. Okay, so I'll take some of the rest of this. The box with the boxes is this stuff. Okay, so I'm showing you this just because they did a great job of packing. So delivery time, yeah, I'm a little critical of, but geez, looks good. Let's get on to the big show. I'll let you be the judge. Worth the wait or not? I would say yes. Okay, very nice looking unit. If I need to polish it, I guess I can polish it myself because I didn't pay the extra for that. But nicely machined, looks good. Back side of it, that all looks fantastic. Quick change gear set there. And then I think we ought to look at the hardware, but so that's all nice. I'll bring in some of my other parts and we'll talk more about the side gears and the machining for that. Then I've seen quite a few people mount this thing. Go ahead and mount the center section on a engine stand, and I have a spare one back there somewhere I'll take it apart. So that's probably what I'll do. That way you can put it on there and move it, you know, back and forth, flip it up, flip it the other way, like that. Okay, so I'll probably do that. So yeah, that's the big plan. Might even read the instructions. There'd be something new, probably a good thing to do. Okay, I'm back. I got a bunch of parts. I figured we'd just recap this. The next thing that happens is everything's off to the machine shop. Everything being 2 parts really. And then once I get that out, I'll start assembly. The only other thing that I know that I have to get is I'm told that those gaskets, you need another set of those. Typically they get mangled when you're trying to put all this stuff together. But anyway, so we got ring gear here, part of the carrier. And if you'll notice, the old and new carriers, yeah, they look very similar on the inside, right? The halves of it. And so what happens is you got these side gears. They have to fit inside this hole. We can see that they don't fit like that right now, but they have to fit where this back side, you you know, the flange, the flat part, is flat on this. So wham, that goes in there. All right. Spider gear sits on top of that. That gets machined. That goes in there. Like that. Won't have those gaps in it, so that all fits together. I still got to get the inside race of that bearing off. And then all of it goes inside there. Here's how the thing works. Drive shaft here, down to this shaft, quick change gears inside, and the little pinion gear there turns the ring gear on the inside. And the quick change rear end works, makes beautiful noises, and away you go down the road. Looks really cool. Got that cool V8 symbol in the side of it right there. And that's it. Okay, that's all for now. I will put this thing together and post it up for those who are interested. See ya. Okay, I'm going to do a little bit out of order on the assembly. Nothing significant, but I mean, I was looking at the assembly instruction. It doesn't even tell you to put the studs in the housing. So the first thing I'm going to do is put the studs in the housing, and that's aluminum. The studs are made out of steel. So of course you need some anti-seize on everything, or those are going to be there for a long time. So anti-seize all the studs, put those in on both sides. I guess I should mention this. You never know. We all make mistakes, right? But there's a short side and a long side to the stud. So the long side is going to be the one that faces out away from the center section. Because if you don't, I'll just demonstrate here. Okay, that's the stud with the long side into the center section. Okay, you can see how that would not be good. Your threads would be sticking out there. So if we take it and we put the short side in, memento please. All right, so if you put the stud in correctly, the thicker part of the stud there that's not threaded is gonna get into seat right on the base rather than have it sticking out with the studs like that. Got one stud here that won't bottom out, so be prepared. May have to run a tap through some stuff. If you don't have one of these in your shop, get one. This one's from CM Tool. Yeah, I got it off of Amazon, same place everybody gets everything these days. 3/8-16 coarse threads are what they are. So I'm gonna run a tap through this bad boy over here and see if I can get that all fixed. You can follow this under helpful hints and tricks. If you're not saving all the Ziploc bags that your missus is throwing away, highly suggested, then, you know, instead of having to keep the original packaging, everything came in, just throw it in a bag, label it with a permanent marker, and yeah, worth its weight in gold. All right, there we go, got that sorted. Fantastic. Be sure and wipe any excess anti-seize off of here. You know, that's going to be a gasket surface, and it matters for the clearance inside there. So just want to make sure we got that nice and clean. Don't put the quick change gears in yet. You know, if this thing's on an engine stand mounted by here, and then you have to flip the whole thing over, you know, you don't have to worry about that stuff going on. So just leave those out. All right, this is the other side. Sure enough, a couple of them. This one was almost, I've got it backed out here, but it was almost seated, but not quite. And then you can see this one's at a dead stop. So a couple little small quality control issues, nothing major, but again, 3/8-16 on those, and be careful, for goodness sakes. So I would keep that tap handy, and I'll show you why. So you can see where this is bottomed out, right? And these are all just hand tight. You don't want to torque down on that. I think aluminum, about 25 foot-pounds is most you're ever going to get out of aluminum. And most of them are torqued to less than that, depends on the size of the fastener. But anyway, if I look at this one, you see how that's not seated all the way? Yeah. It's not threaded quite far enough. Not all of them are like this, but enough that, you know, you're going to be running a few holes. So, yeah, something to deal with. But if you want everything to be right, that's the way it is. All right, so I'm going to finish that up. Already looking like a piece of men's jewelry, digging that. And we'll go on. So I got a couple things back from being machined. Guy down in Olive Branch that I met through a friend of mine runs a place called JF Hot Rods, and that's who I had to do the machine work. He did a great job, and this is what ends up coming of it. So you can see that this hole in the carrier here has been counterbored, and so has that one. So this is the point where you can take the side gears, and they fit flat in there. All right. He bored them to spec size given by the place I got this from, whether you want to call them a manufacturer or the reseller. All right, so here's what ends up happening. We got a little of that going on. That going on, sits flat. All right, the next thing I'm going to do is put the bolts through, and then put the castle nuts on the backside, tighten them down, and then I'll have to cotter pin them. It's pretty easy, just put the bolts through and let it rip. Jeffrey did a great job. They just did some pretty good work. I think they set a record out at the Bonneville Salt Flats. I saw that car while I was there. So if you're around Memphis, Olive Branch, Mississippi, and I think his shop is actually down in Byhalia, but good people. So maybe go see them if you need some machine work done or something done on your hot rod.